just about to start my workout for today. Today, all I'm using is a light set of dumbbells and my jump rope. I'm also using an exercise mat. But if you do not have a jump rope and you do not have dumbbells, that's fine. You can still do this workout right along with me because I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. As always, there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So there are just 5 different exercises plus jump rope. I'm using just a light set of dumbbells. So for reference, and for reference only, my lighter set of dumbbells, these weigh 5 pounds a piece, and that is a good weight for me. Even though they feel very light to me when I pick them up, that weight is going to challenge me a lot for these exercises that we're doing for today's workout. So you may need something lighter than 5 pounds a piece. You may need something heavier than 5 pounds a piece. That depends on your strength. It depends on your level of fitness. It also depends on what you have available to you and how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. But I will caution you that these exercises that we're doing today, I specifically chose these exercises with light weights because I do not recommend doing these exercises with heavier weights. So whatever you choose for your weight should feel light to you when you pick it up. Okay, so if 8 pounds feels light to you when you pick them up, you can use 8-pound dumbbells. If 5-pound dumbbells don't feel light to you when you pick them up, then you should use 3-pound dumbbells or 1-pound dumbbells. Or you can use household items instead. All right, so if you don't have dumbbells that feel light to you when you pick them up, then you can grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles. You can fill them with water. Or if you have like a full shampoo and conditioner bottle in your shower, just grab those. If they're already full, perfect. But if you have empty ones that are waiting to be recycled, you can just fill them with water and that will work. You can fill them with uncooked rice or dry beans or kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, anything just to give them a little bit of weight. And they'll be quite light, so they will be absolutely perfect for this workout. So as long as you have something lying around the house that you can maintain a secure grip on while you're doing the workout, you're not going to drop it and hurt yourself or break something or make a mess. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, then any number of household items will work. Now, if you have nothing at all that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to your workout, that's fine. You don't have to add weight. I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. But I'm going to be using a light set of dumbbells, so I recommend grabbing either a light set of dumbbells or a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight. I'm also using my jump rope. I have Rude Becca here. For those of you who don't know, Rude Becca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. And if you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, remember that there's always a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RudeBecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. So I'm going to be doing sets of 100 with my jump rope. And by a set of 100, I mean 100 revolutions of the rope. So I always just kind of jog in place like this while I'm jumping rope, but any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. So if you are more comfortable jumping with your feet together, jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope, then you can challenge yourself and do something more difficult like high knees or jump rope jacks. Twist jumps, you can jump side to side, it doesn't matter. Okay, the only important thing is that we are counting revolutions of the rope. So regardless of what style of jump rope you're doing, you're going to count 100 revolutions of the rope. That's a set of 100. We're going to be doing a total of 20 sets of 100 throughout the course of the workout. So it's going to be tough, but each set is only going to take like less than a minute, hopefully. All right, now if you do not have a jump rope, that's absolutely fine. You don't need one. You have a couple of options. First of all, you really can just skip the jump rope sections and focus solely on weight training today. If you want to just do exactly what I'm doing for my weighted exercise and skip over those sets of 100 that I'm doing with my jump rope, that's an option. You can absolutely do that. Or you can substitute with any other type of moderate paced cardio you want. All right, so for example, you really can just pantomime jumping rope like I just did right now when I was showing you how I kind of jog in place. So that is a completely legitimate option, and they actually sell ropeless jump ropes. It's really just two handles that you hold on to while you pretend to jump over an imaginary rope. And if it helps you to actually hold on to something, and you want to get something like that, I think that would be a fine investment. If you plan on following my workouts regularly, you'll get a ton of use out of something like that because I incorporate jump rope into most of my workouts these days. However, if you are already jumping over an imaginary rope, I really think that you can hold on to imaginary handles while you do that. So if you want to save your money, just hold on to some imaginary handles and jump over your imaginary rope, and that can be your equipment-free substitution. All right, if you don't want a pantomime jumping rope, then you can really just jog in place. You can do high knees or jumping jacks or mountain climbers, pendulum, okay, any type of cardio exercise you want to do while I'm jumping rope is fine. So just pick any type of cardio exercise that you can sustain for about a minute or so, and that's what you'll do. If you have like an exercise bike or a treadmill or elliptical or something like that, you can absolutely hop on one of those for a minute, okay, to replace those sets of 100 that I'm doing with my jump rope. You could hop on your treadmill and, you know, jog for a minute or something. That would work. All right, so you could do up and down the stairs, whatever's gonna work for you. But as long as you're just getting your heart rate up a little bit, we're doing sets of 100 for our weighted exercise, and the jump rope is just kind of like a break from that, just a way to kind of get your heart up and let your arms, let your muscles rest for a few seconds until we go back to our next strength training exercise, like a little palate cleanser. So really you can just set the weights down and just kind of jog in place for a minute or so. That's absolutely fine. All right, and then the only other thing I'm using is a mat. I'm using my jump rope mat because I'm jumping rope out here. So I'm using it for my jump rope, and then I'm also using it as like an exercise mat to lie down on and to kneel on while I do my weighted exercises. So a yoga mat is great. One of those thicker exercise mats I think is even better. Especially if you're working out on concrete like I am. That's part of the reason I like to use my jump rope mat, because it's nice and thick. Gives me a little bit more protection. So if you do not have a mat, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all, but you're going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So definitely grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. Again, if you don't have a yoga mat or any kind of exercise mat, that is something that I recommend investing in. It's incredibly useful to have some sort of exercise mat, not only for your workouts, but for your daily stretching routine. And they're relatively inexpensive. They don't take up a lot of space. They're lightweight. You can bring them with you when you travel. So if you don't have a mat, I strongly recommend investing in one. But for now, you can just use a towel. That will probably suffice. All right, so that's all of the equipment I'm using. Now let's go ahead and go over our 5 weighted exercises so that you know what's coming up and you can do the workout right along with me. So we're going to be down on the mat for all 5 exercises, and I'm starting with these oblique heel taps. And we've done these several times before, but it's been a minute. So I will actually show you this exercise without the weight first, so that you have your body weight alternative, your equipment-free option in case you don't want to add weight to the workout. So I'm down here on my mat, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. And all I'm going to do is extend my arms out to the side like this, and I'm just going to lift my upper back up off the mat like this, really feeling that crunch in the abs. Make sure you're pressing your low back into the mat. And from here, I'm just going to reach over and tap my heel with this hand. Repeat on the other side. Okay, so I'm just tapping one heel at a time with the hand on the same side. And that's it. That's the entire exercise. It's super simple, but it's really tough. So you want to make sure that you're pressing your low back into the mat. If you lie here in a relaxed state, there's naturally a curve to the bottom of your spine, and that creates a little space between your lower back and the mat. So you see that I can actually get my hand underneath my back. My hand is between the small of my back and my mat right now. So this little space right here is what we want to get rid of. So you're going to tilt your pelvis forward, like you're sucking your belly button back towards your spine. And so you're going to end up pressing your low back into the mat. And so now you see I cannot get my hand underneath my back. There's no space between the small of my back and the mat because I'm pressing my low back into the mat, tilting my pelvis forward. All right, so you want to make sure you're doing that first, and then really engaging your abs to lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, and then twist and tap, twist and tap. So imagine that there is like a wall, or I don't know, like a board or something. Imagine that you're enclosed, okay? So once you're in this position here, so just imagine that there's like that you're working like in a bookcase, you know what I mean? So there's a shelf right above you and a shelf right below you. So you can't go up or you'll bonk your head, and you can't go down, okay? Because there's a shelf, you'll bonk your head on the shelf. So imagine that you have to stay perfectly in this plane right here. So as you're moving side to side, you're trying to stay on the same level, okay? The same, like, what is this, like latitude, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the visual. The point is that you're going to be really engaging all of your ab muscles and your deep core, definitely, but you want to really feel your obliques as you're doing that twist and tap of the heels, okay? So I'm going to be doing that exact same exercise while holding on to my light weights, and this exercise actually gets a lot more challenging even when you add very light weights. So if you start holding on to weights and it gets to be too much, remember you can always drop the weights, or if you have more than one set of dumbbells, you can start with 5-pound dumbbells, and then when it gets too heavy, you can drop down to 3 pounds, then you can drop down to 1 pound, and then finally you can do the body weight version, okay? So just remember, you should always be working to your own level, make the decision that is best for you, and please do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. But I'm doing the exact same exercise, so I'm just holding on to my light dumbbells while I do that, so tilting the pelvis forward, pressing my low back into the mat, and now I'm gonna grab a hold of my dumbbells, lift my shoulder blades up off the mat, and I'm just gonna twist and tap the dumbbell to my heel on one side, and then to the other side. All right, super simple, but super tough. And that is our first exercise. The next exercise is dead bugs. So for this one, I'll show you again your equipment-free substitution first. So you're going to come down onto your mat on your back. And now what you're going to do is, again, tilt your pelvis forward, press your low back into the mat. You're going to lift your legs up with your knees bent at about a 90-degree angle. It doesn't have to be a perfect 90-degree angle. No one's coming to your house with a protractor to measure the angle of your knees, so just do your best, get it at around 90 degrees. You're going to extend your arms straight up overhead. Remember to keep tilting that pelvis forward. Suck your belly button back towards your spine. Press that low back into the mat and keep doing that. All right, this whole time, imagine someone's trying to fit their hand underneath the small of your back and you don't want to let them do it, okay? So now what you're going to do is take one leg, extend it straight, and lower the heel down to the ground with control. And then reverse the movement. Lift the leg back up, bend the knee, return to your starting position. making sure the movement's under control, so you're not just letting the leg drop down. You are controlling the movement and lightly tapping that heel to the ground, all right? So as you do that, do your best to make sure that this other knee does not move. It should look like a painting, all right? It's okay if it moves a little, but that's what you're going for. You're trying to not move this other knee at all, okay? So, as you're doing that, you're going to lower the opposite arm down to the ground, okay? Same thing, making sure the movement is under control. So, as this leg lowers to the ground, the opposite arm is going to lower to the ground, okay? So opposite arm, opposite leg, return to the starting position, and then you're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, super simple, but super tough. So I'm going to be doing the same exercise, holding on to my light dumbbells. So you can grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles if you don't have dumbbells, but it is the exact same thing. The only difference is that I have 2 dumbbells in my hands, all right? So I'm going to lower one leg, and at the same time I'm lowering the opposite arm, then return to my starting position, repeat that on the other side, okay? If 2 dumbbells is too heavy, you can hold on to 1 dumbbell or 1 water bottle or shampoo bottle, and instead of alternating arms, you can just alternate legs, and with each rep, you'll lower both arms down to the ground and lift both arms back up at the same time while you hold on to your 1 weight. Okay, that's another possibility. So if you maybe have like a kettlebell or a small medicine ball or a larger medicine ball, that would be a great exercise to do. You can make that modification, just hold on to a kettlebell or a medicine ball or something like maybe a jug of laundry detergent or a gallon milk container. So again, just look for household items that will work. Get creative and use what you've got. So if you don't want to add any weight, you've got your equipment-free modification, but if you do want to add weight, you have a couple of options there as well. The next thing we're going to do is hundreds, and again, I'll show you without the weight. First, this is something that we used to do in Pilates 157 years ago when I used to do Pilates. So if you've ever taken a Pilates class, you've most likely seen this before, and I hope I'm doing them correctly, but it's going to be close enough. I'm calling them hundreds because that's what we used to call them in Pilates class. So if I'm doing something that's not quite exactly the same way it's done in Pilates class, just it's close enough, okay? So here's what I'm doing that I'm calling hundreds. So I'm lifting my legs straight up and I'm extending my arms out to the side. My palms are facing down, the backs of my hands are facing the ceiling, and I'm just going to press down. I'm not tapping my hands to the mat. Think of like 2 magnets repelling each other. So you want to kind of feel like you're coming down towards the mat, but really squeeze, have that sensation like you can't quite get your hand down to the mat. Okay, like it's 2 ends of a magnet that won't go together. Do you know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of that sensation. So you're not just tapping the mat, there's tension there. So you want to like feel that tension, feel that sensation like you can't actually get your hand all the way down to the mat, so that you're really creating some tension, and that's it. All right, it's a super simple exercise, but it gets tough, but we're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to increase the difficulty, you can lift your shoulder blades up off the mat like this. And again, just make sure you're pressing your low back into the mat. Abs are super strong and tight and engaged. And that's it. That's the exercise. And again, adding even just these light weights increases the difficulty so much. So just be prepared to either move to a lighter set of weights if that's an option for you, or to drop the weights altogether and switch to the weight-free version that I just showed you. But I'm going to be doing the exact same thing while holding on to my 5-pound dumbbells. So I'm going to extend my legs straight up, and then you can stay here for less difficulty and just pulse. Trust me, that's challenging enough. But if you're super strong and you want to increase the difficulty, you can do the same exact exercise with your shoulder blades lifted up off the mat. Okay, so that's your option. You do it however you want to. Again, if you start with your shoulder blades lifted up off the mat and it gets too difficult, you can put your upper back down on the mat. Okay, so just do what works for you. But that is our third exercise. The fourth exercise is going to be a sit-up plus a tricep overhead press. So again, I'll give you your equipment-free modification first. If you don't want to add any weight at all, you're just going to do sit-ups. So you're going to have your knees bent and your feet flat on the mat, arms extended overhead, and then you're just going to sit up and straighten your back, reach up towards the ceiling as high as you can, and then reverse the movement, lowering yourself back down with control. Again, make sure every aspect of the movement is under control, but that's it. Sit up and reach, straight back at the top, return to the starting position. All right, if you prefer to do a different sit-up variation, go for it, but that's gonna be the most similar to what I'm doing without the added weight. So that's going to be my recommendation for your equipment-free modification. I'm going to be doing the same thing while holding on to both of my 5-pound dumbbells. So I'm holding the weights together like this. So this is a total of 10 pounds of weight. Now again, if both of your dumbbells together is going to be too much weight for you, you can do the same thing, the same exercise, just holding on to one weight. Place one hand on either side of the dumbbell. And it's the same exercise at first. So you're going to sit up, bring the dumbbell with you, and straighten your back, reach up towards the ceiling, but then you're going to add a tricep overhead press. So you're going to hinge at the elbows, let the weight come down behind you, and then you're going to engage your triceps to press the weight back up overhead, and then you're going to reverse the movement and come back down to your starting position, making sure you're lowering that dumbbell back down to the ground with control. It shouldn't be slamming into the ground. Every aspect of the movement should be under control. All right, so sit up and reach, tricep overhead press, and return to your starting position. I'm going to be holding both of my weights together like this. So I'm starting here, sit up and reach, tricep overhead press, and return to the starting position. All right, so as you are doing your tricep overhead press, what you want to think about is keeping your arms perfectly still from your shoulders to your elbows. So you're up here, you're reaching up towards the ceiling. Now keep the insides of your elbows glued to your temples so that from here to here stays perfectly stationary. You don't want this to move at all. You're just hinging at the elbow as you lower the weight behind you, and then engaging your tricep, hinging at the elbow to raise the weight back up. But what you're trying to avoid is allowing your elbows to go behind you as you lower the weights down, and you're trying to avoid having your elbows come forward as you lift the weights back up. So you're here, you're reaching straight up, and then you want your insides of your elbows to remain glued right here to your temples, hinging at the elbows to lower the weight and lift it back up overhead, okay? But that's it. That is our second to last weighted exercise. And our final exercise is just going to be these lat pulses. So again, I'm going to be holding one weight in each hand, but if that is too much for you, you can hold just one of your weights. So for this exercise, there's not really, I mean, you could do the same thing without holding on to weights, but I think there are more effective exercises that you could do. So I'll show you the weighted version first, and then we'll talk about what to do if you are not adding weight to the workout. So I'm going to be holding on to both of my weights, and I'm going to do this exercise from a kneeling position because I feel like that helps me to activate my core more. But if you have bad knees, then you can do the same thing from a standing position. So you can be here, just holding the weights behind you. So in this position, my palms are facing you and the backs of my hands are facing my booty. And from here, I'm just lifting my palms straight up to the ceiling. Like I'm trying to take my palms and make an imprint of my palm on the ceiling, okay? So you're thinking about lifting your arms straight up behind you. And then again, with control, you're gonna lower the weights back down. So it's not a huge range of motion. You're just pulsing, all right? So from the side, I'm just lifting my palms up towards the ceiling and then lowering them back down with control. I'm going to be doing that from a kneeling position. So if it is too much strain on your knees to be here for so long, you can double up your yoga mat or your exercise mat a couple times, and that might do the trick. That's going to give you some more protection for your knees. Or you can take like a folded up towel, like grab a beach towel and fold it up a few times so it's nice and thick, and place that underneath your knees. Or you could grab a throw pillow or a seat cushion, all right? Anything that's going to make it a little bit more comfortable to remain in this kneeling position for so long, okay? But you can do the same exercise from down here. Either way, you just want to make sure that you're keeping your entire core nice and strong and tight and engaged the whole time. So like I said, I like doing this from a kneeling position. I feel it helps me to really stay focused on keeping my core nice and tight, but whatever is comfortable for you is fine. So for this one, just make sure that you're not locking out your elbow. You're not actively trying to straighten your arm as you're doing this. You want to have just a soft bend to your elbow. So you're not, like really bending it, but it's not completely all the way straight. You just want to have kind of a soft bend, all right? So just make sure you're not locking your elbow out. That's not the movement. So just a soft bend to the elbow, but your arms are more or less straight as you do this. And if you want to just do it with one weight, the way I usually do this with one weight, if your hands are small enough that you can grab a hold of the bar with both hands, you can do it like that. My hands just barely fit like that, so that's an option. But if your hands are too big, then really what you can do is kind of like balance. Do you see what I'm doing? If I show you from the side maybe, or from the back, you can kind of like just balance the weight in your hands. So I don't really have a strong grip on it, but it's kind of just cradled there. I have one hand on either side, and I'm kind of like cradling it. I'm gripping it, yeah, but I don't really have a strong grip on it. It's more or less just gravity holding it in place, if that makes sense. All right, but that is another option. You can do the same exercise, just holding onto one weight. So one dumbbell or one water bottle or shampoo bottle or a can of soup from the pantry, okay, whatever you've got. But that is our fifth and final strength training exercise. Now, if you are not adding weight to the workout and you need an equipment-free substitution for that one, I mean, yeah, you can do this. That's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything, but I think it's just not gonna be very effective because there's nothing in the way of resistance. So you might be able to find a way to make this work if you have resistance bands. That would be a great option. You could do this with a resistance band, maybe like around your waist. That would work, I think. But if you don't have a resistance band and you need something that's completely no equipment whatsoever, I'm gonna recommend instead that you do chest lifts. Okay, so you can come down onto your mat on your belly and extend your arms out in front of you and lift your feet up off the mat, and you have your chest lifted up off the mat slightly. And then what you're going to do is bend your elbows and bring like you're trying to touch your elbows together behind you. And as you do that, you're going to arch your back and lift your chest up as high as you can. Think about lifting your chest straight up towards the ceiling as you bring your elbows back and try to touch your elbows together behind your back, okay? So it looks like this. And then extend the arms, return to your starting position. All right, another super simple exercise, but pretty tough. I always struggle with those. I think those are so much harder than they look. And again, we're doing sets of 100. So that's going to be plenty challenging, and I think that that's a great substitution for the lat pulses if you don't want to add weight to your workout. All right, but that's it. That's all 5 exercises with your equipment-free substitutions. So now here's the format. Like I said, we're doing sets of 100, so it's gonna be super tough. Everything is sets of 100. So it's kind of a couplet workout. So we're starting with our first exercise, which is our oblique heel taps. So we will do 100 oblique heel taps, alternating sides with each rep. Then we will do our first set of 100 with the jump rope, and then we'll repeat that little couplet before moving on to the next of our weighted exercises. So it's going to be the first weighted exercise and then jump rope repeated, and then you're going to do that pattern 4 more times. So then you'll move on to exercise number 2, which is dead bugs. You'll do 100 reps of dead bugs, alternating sides with each rep. Then you'll put the weights down, grab your jump rope, do a quick set of 100 with the jump rope, and then you'll repeat that. 100 more dead bugs, 1 more set of 100 with the jump rope. Then you'll move on to exercise number 3, which is the hundreds. So you'll do 100 hundreds, and then 100 revolutions of the jump rope, and then another 100 hundreds, another 100 revolutions of the jump rope, all right? So same thing all throughout. Then you'll do 100 sit-ups, a set of 100 with the jump rope, repeat that, 100 more sit-ups, 100 more revolutions with the jump rope, and then finish up with either our kneeling or standing lat pulses or chest lifts. Either way, whichever one of those exercises you choose, you're going to do a set of 100, and then you'll put the weights down, you'll do a set of 100 with your jump rope, and then you'll repeat that. So 1 more set of 100 with the dumbbells or without chest lifts or lat pulses, and then a final set of 100 with the jump rope, and that's it. That's the workout. It's gonna be super, super, super tough. So do your best. Hopefully that is all clear. Remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it is also really important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. I'm always here to help facilitate that. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. Now, if this workout is too long, it's too many reps the way it's written, then feel free to make changes and modifications, not just to the exercises, but to the format as well. So you could just do the same exact format that I'm doing, but cut everything in half. I would say you could probably still stick with sets of 100 for your jump rope, because that just goes by so quickly. But for the weighted exercises, you could do 50 reps of each of those instead of 100. So that's one way to cut your amount of reps in half. The other thing you could do is to not repeat each exercise. So you could do 50 reps or 100 reps of the first weighted exercise, and then do your set of jump rope, and then just move on from there, move on to the next exercise so that you're not repeating each exercise. So if you're the one doing it, it's your workout. You are the boss, applesauce, all right? You make the rules. So do it in whatever way works for you. I'm sharing my workout with you, but you make whatever changes and modifications you need to in order to make it work for you, in order to accommodate your strength and your current level of fitness or your time constraints. Okay, so please make sure that you are working to your own level. Choose dumbbells that are an appropriate weight for you. Drop to a lighter weight as needed, or drop the weight altogether as needed. Modify the exercises as needed. Take rest breaks as needed. Okay, if you do need to take rest breaks, you want to challenge yourself to keep the rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. All right, so just make sure you're working to your own level. You should only continue once you feel that you have regained enough strength and enough stamina that you can continue with good form. Remember that you never want to sacrifice your form for speed. So make sure you're not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Please just be smart, be safe, listen to your body. Make sure that you are working to your own level. Make sure you're going at your own pace. Do not sacrifice your form for speed, and just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and begin the workout, grab a set of light dumbbells if you have them. If not, maybe some shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight. If you have nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, that's fine. You have your equipment-free substitutions. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you are jumping rope with me, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, a towel may suffice. Pause the video, go get dressed, and then when you are ready to begin, meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm up, and then we'll get the workout done together. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Really focus on relaxing your arms. So you're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. Your arms should be completely relaxed. Gravity is doing all the work. Gently stretching the other side of your neck. Switch sides so let your head fall to the other shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Your arm is completely relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Make sure they're not creeping up by your ears. They should be down, away from your ears. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to begin by allowing your chin to fall to your chest, and then to the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start to feel your head and your entire torso get heavier and heavier. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll, and you're allowing your range of motion to expand so that your entire body is just falling in front of you. Next, we're doing shoulder rolls. So really exaggerate the movement. Make your circles as big as you possibly can. Next, we're doing arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So you're going to extend your arms out to the side and start by just making small circles, but gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making the circles as big as you possibly can. Now step your feet out so that they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend your knees and sweep your arms down in front of you. Then as you straighten your legs, you're reaching up and stretching towards the ceiling. Each time you bend your knees, just start expanding your range of motion a little bit more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. Adding the arms. So with each lunge, you're reaching across your body with your arm, like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're going to march. So you're going to step your feet in and start by marching with your knees low, but gradually you want to start driving your knees up, higher and higher towards your chest. until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. And next we're going to do the same thing with a light jog. So starting with the knees low, but gradually you want to start driving those knees up, higher and higher towards your chest, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Next is booty kicks. So it's still a nice light jog, but with each step, you're bringing your foot behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. For this next one, you may need to hold on to a chair or the wall for support. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips, but you're going to transfer your weight into one foot. You're going to pick up the other leg and just swing the leg in front of you, swing it behind you. Nice and easy. We're going to do this same exercise on the other side. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight into the other leg, pick up the foot, and swing it in front of you, swing it behind you. You can start low, and then gradually you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now you're going to transfer your weight again, so you'll put this foot down, extend the other leg out in front of you, and just make a semicircle, bringing the leg around and behind you. And each semicircle, I'm lifting my leg higher and higher until finally I'm going to drive my knee up towards my chest and use my hand to guide it around in a hip circle. Other leg. So transferring the weight again, extending the other leg out in front of you, making a semicircle, bringing the leg around and behind you, lifting that leg higher and higher each time, and then finally you're going to drive the knee up in front of you, use your hand to guide it around, and finally, our hamstring stretch. So I'm demonstrating on this post. You want to try to keep your back as flat as possible while getting into this stretch. So if you use the wall or a chair, for example, it's just going to make this stretch a little bit easier, a little more accessible, and a little more comfortable getting into the stretch while maintaining that flat back. Our 5 minutes is up, but I always like to spend a few extra seconds in this hamstring stretch because the backs of my legs tend to be really tight, and I want to make sure that I'm nice and loose and ready for the workout. But that's it, that's the warm-up, 5 minutes plus. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout. We are starting with our oblique heel taps. So coming down onto the mat, with or without weight. Coming down onto my back, my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the mat, and I'm tilting my pelvis forward, pressing my low back into the mat. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm picking up my weights, lifting my shoulder blades up off the mat, and I'm just going to twist and tap, tapping my heel with the end of the dumbbell and alternating sides with each rep. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to 100, so do your best. I think that's 50. If you don't need to rest, you don't have to. I'm pacing myself to do 100 of these, so I'm gonna pause here for a few seconds. I'll see if I can do another 50 without stopping. We will find out together. All right, so as soon as you're ready, tilting the pelvis forward, pressing that low back into the mat, lifting the shoulder blades up off the mat, and now twist and tap, twist and tap. 8, 9. All right, I'm pretty sure that was 100. So now setting the weights down, we're going to do another 100 reps of those. But first, we're gonna take a quick little break. I'm gonna give my arms a break. I'm gonna give my abs a little break, and we're going to do a quick, hopefully a quick set of 100 with the jump rope, meaning 100 revolutions of the rope. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. You're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna start over. If you trip over the jump rope, you do not have to start the whole set over. Let me get that out there right now. I'll do my little tripping speech. I'm choosing to start that set over because I tripped so early on in the set. My cutoff point is usually 20 revolutions. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start the entire set over. So, starting my count over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So if I trip over my jump rope and I'm on rep like 80, I'm not gonna start the whole set over. I'm gonna just take a breath and get right back into it. I'm gonna pick up my count right where I left off. I'll do another 20 revolutions of the rope, and that's my set of 100. But for me, if I trip before I've even completed 20 revolutions of the rope, I always just start the set over. But you have to, you make that decision for yourself. But as long as you're completing all 100 revolutions, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter how many times you trip. You're out here, you're putting in the work, you're getting your heart rate up, so it's all good. All right, so next, we're going to repeat that little couplet. So we're going to do another 100 reps of oblique heel taps, and then another set of 100 with the jump rope before we move on. So, tilt the pelvis forward, press your low back into the mat, lift the shoulders, shoulder blades, twist and tap, twist and tap. Each twist and tap is 1 rep. So we're going to 100, do your best. I'm not gonna count those 2. I'm gonna start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Don't rest if you don't need to. I'm resting here because I feel like if I take a few seconds to rest here, I can do another 50 without stopping. So I'm just trying to do it in the most efficient way for myself. You do what works for you. When you're ready, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, nice job. Those are tough, especially with with the added weight, even though we're using light weights, adds a lot of difficulty. So setting the weights aside. Another set of 100 with the jump rope. If you don't have a jump rope, you can be doing any kind of moderate pace cardio you want. You can jog in place. You can do high knees, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, whatever you want. But if you're jumping rope with me, let's go ahead and start our second set of 100 when you're ready. See, again, I'm gonna start the whole set over. I don't like tripping so early. I'd rather just start over and string together a clean set of 100. So that's just my personal preference. So starting over. Okay, 100 revolutions of the jump rope. Okay, next is dead bugs. 100 total reps. Alternating sides with each rep. With or without weight. So you can do this with no added weight. You can do it with one weight, or you can take 2 light weights and hold them together. Just make the decision that's best for you. I'm holding my weights together and I'm lifting my legs. My knees are at about a 90-degree angle. Lifting my arms straight up overhead, and now lowering one leg down to the ground, lowering the opposite arm down to the ground, and then returning to my starting position. That's 1, 2, alternating sides with each rep. Make sure the movement is entirely under control. That's 3. And again, make sure that you are tilting your pelvis forward. That's 4. Continuously pressing that low back into the mat. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So make sure that you are pressing your low back into the mat. You can't fit your hand in between your low back and the mat, all right? Make sure those abs are super strong and tight and engaged the entire time. I'm gonna zip it so I can try to pick up my pace a little bit without losing anything off of my form, because we have to do 90 more of these before we move on. And these are super tough, and it's an exercise that can't really be rushed, so just do your best. I'm picking up my count at 10. It's 20 for me. 30. 40, my abs are crying. I'm gonna do another 10 and then I'll take a little rest break. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. My little weakling abs are crying, so I need to rest for a few seconds. If you don't need a rest break, you don't have to take one. If you do need a rest break, remember to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but also make sure they're as long as you need. You should only continue when you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina to continue with good form. Remember, we don't sacrifice our form for speed. So if you need to rest longer, you can always pause the video and come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my count at 50, so make sure you're tilting that pelvis forward. Actively press your low back into the mat the entire time. Don't ever let up on that tension, okay? Lifting the legs, lifting the arms, press that low back into the mat, and go when you're ready. For me. We're 3/4 of the way there. I know it's hard. That's 80 for me. I have to do 20 more. I'm gonna pause here for about 30 seconds or so. Try to keep the rest break as short as I can. And I'm going to attempt to finish these final 20 reps without stopping, but I'm aiming to do 10 and 10. It doesn't matter, I'll get them done. When you're ready, pick up my count at 80. It's hard. I'm doing it with you, so I know it's hard. Just do your best. We're almost there. It's 94, 95, just 5 more. Push. 96, 97, 98, just 2 more. I know it's hard. 99, last one. 100. All right, get up. Even if you're not ready to immediately start your jump rope, just get up. Don't collapse on your mat. I know it's tempting. I know that was a tough set. You want to keep moving. All right, you want to keep the circulation going. Keep the blood flowing through those muscles. So even if you're not ready to start your jump rope, just get up and move, okay? And when you are ready to start your jump rope, here we go. Another set of 100. Do your best. Okay, are we ready to do this again? Another 100 dead bugs. No? Me neither. But we're gonna do it. We'll get them done. Our abs have had a few minutes now to rest and recover. So I'm not saying this is gonna be easy, but I'm saying maybe, just maybe I can do my first 50 reps unbroken like I did with the first set. Let's find out. If not, I'm gonna make it my goal to get to at least 30 and then do another 20, and then I'll get to the halfway point, all right? So break them up in whatever way you need to, whatever works for you. And again, if you need a longer rest break, just pause the video, come back when you're ready. Pressing that low back into the mat, lifting the legs, lifting the arms. And now lowering one leg, lowering the opposite arm. Make sure the movement is under control. Alternating sides with each rep. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. That's 30 for me. My abs are crying, but I'm gonna keep fighting. See how close to 50 I can get before I have to stop and rest. That's 32. 3, 4, 5, 40. Do I have another 10? I'm pushing so hard. My abs are crying real tears. 42. 43. It's 45. Just 5 more. 47. 48, 2 more, and then I'll rest. 49, and 50. Oh, my abs hurt so bad. All right, so I'm only halfway done with this second set, but if it helps to think of it this way, we're 75% of the way done with this exercise because we're doing 200 reps all day and we've completed 150. So we're 3/4 of the way there. So psychologically, that makes it less painful for me anyway. All right, so I'm not going to probably be able to do this final 50 reps unbroken. So I'm going to try to do what I did the first round and do my first 30 unbroken if I can, and then take a short, like 20-30 second rest break and finish up with my final 20. That's my goal. All right, so when you are ready, here we go. If you're not ready to resume the workout, then pause the video. Come back when you feel that you have regained enough strength and enough stamina to continue with good form. I'm picking up my count at 50, so that was 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. I'm going to try to get to 80 before I have to pause and rest. $60. 70. I can do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, ow, that's 80. Oh, it hurts so bad. I can't see my timer. I'm not timing the rest break. I'm just doing my best to keep it under 30 seconds, but I'm just going by feel. So I don't know exactly how long my rest break is, but I want to keep it as short as I can because I don't want to be out here all day and I only have to do 20 more. So, all right, tilt that pelvis forward. Make sure that you are continually, mindfully pressing your low back into the mat. When you're ready, here we go. Final 20 reps. 90, we're almost there. Keep pushing. Five more. 6, 7, 8. That's 99. And that is 100. Oh my gosh, those are so tough. But they're done. No more dead bugs for the rest of the day. Unless you kill an ant in your house or something. Just don't kill spiders, please. Whatever I can pick up and put outside, I put outside. That doesn't work with ants, so I will kill ants, but like if I find an earwig or a roly-poly or something like that in the house, I pick it up and put it outside. But spiders, they stay. They just live in the house like they pay rent. I love my spiders. All right, when you're ready, what am I talking about? Okay, when you're ready, one more set of 100 with the jump rope, and then we'll move on to our third exercise. We're getting there. Here we go. Well, it might be an extra 10 because I feel like my mind was wandering. I was thinking about spiders, my little spider friends that live in the house with me, and I might have lost track of my count, so that might have been an extra 10 revolutions. I'm not sure. It's all good. All right, so next is our sit-up with a tricep overhead press. If you are doing a body weight version of the workout without any added weight, then you're going to eliminate the tricep overhead press and just do sit-ups. If you are adding weight, again, you can hold both weights. That's what I'm going to be doing. If that is too heavy, then you can just hold on to one weight. All right, so you can start here, and then if you become too fatigued to continue with this amount of weight, drop one, all right? And if this gets too difficult, if you have access to something lighter, you can drop down in weight, or you can just ditch the added weight altogether and go to sit-ups without any added weight, okay? Do whatever works for you. I'm holding my weights together like this, starting down here on my back. My knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. My arms are extended up overhead. Now I'm going to sit up, reach, tricep overhead press, and reverse the movement. That's one. Sit up, tricep overhead press. That's two. So remember to keep the insides of your elbows glued to your temples as you let the weight fall down behind you for the tricep overhead press, and then engage your triceps, hinge at the elbows to press the weight back up overhead. The goal is that from your shoulders to your elbows stays perfectly stationary while you're doing that tricep overhead press. All right, so that was 5 for me. We're doing 100. So it's gonna be tough. Do your best. Sit up, reach, tricep overhead press, and now reverse the movement with control. Make sure you're lowering the weights back down with control. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm gonna zip my lip so I can conserve some energy because I have to do 90 more of these before I can move on. So do your best. Remember, if it gets too difficult with the tricep overhead press, just drop the weight or eliminate the overhead press or both, okay? So pick up my count at 10. That's 25 for me. I'm a quarter of the way there. That's 40 for me. I want to keep going. I'm going to just do 10 more, and I'll be halfway there. So I'm going to push. It's 45. 5 more. $46. 47. 48. 49. One more and then I'll rest. Oh, holy cannoli. My triceps and my shoulders. Whew. So I'm halfway done with this set. I have to do 100 reps, and I've done 50. So I have another 50 to go. This would be a logical time to drop down to one weight because it's so hard. Like my triceps and my shoulders are feeling it so much, but I'm stubborn. So I'm gonna stick with both weights, taking a nice long rest break here. So I'm going to attempt to attack this second half the same way I did with my dead bugs, okay? So I did my first 50 more or less without stopping, and now for the second half, I'm going to do my best to do 30 reps unbroken, and then I'll take a brief rest and finish up with my final 20 reps. That's my goal. Oh, my arms already feel like they are going to fall off. Now you see why I told you that I recommend light weights for this workout. This is an exercise that you can do with heavy weights, but not 200 reps. All right, so honestly, you guys, I do put thought into these workouts, so if I'm telling you if I'm recommending light weights, there's a reason for it, and if you didn't believe me, now maybe you believe me. All right, so I'm picking up my count at 50. I'm gonna try to get to 80 before I have to stop and rest again. If you are not ready to continue, pause the video. And once you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to continue with good form, let's resume the workout, picking up my count at 50. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 60. I'm gonna try to do 20 more before I have to stop. That's 70. I'm hurting, but I'm gonna push. I'm gonna fight for this next 10 reps, and then I'll rest. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79, one more. That's 80. So I have to do 20 more, and then we're gonna move on to jump rope. I'll have just a minute or two of recovery, and then I have to do 100 more of these. So I know this exercise is super tough. Oh, I skipped hundreds. I went out of order. All right, well, no worries. We'll just do hundreds after this one. Not a big deal. All right, let's finish up with our final 20 reps of sit-ups. I know that was longer than 30 seconds, but these are so hard. All right, pick up my count at 80. I have to do 20 more, so I'll see if I can do them unbroken. Just do your best. When you're ready, here we go. It's 85. 15 more. That's 90. Just 10 more, almost there. It's 95. Just 5 more. $96. 97. 98. 100. Just sitting here getting annoyed with myself because I did the exercises out of order. The third exercise was supposed to be hundreds, and these sit-ups with the tricep overhead press, that's supposed to be the fourth exercise, and but I skipped over the hundreds accidentally. So this is not the way I intended the workout to go. I intentionally had the exercises alternating so that we're going from an exercise that's over relatively quickly to like a longer, tougher exercise. So we started with the oblique heel taps. Those go by pretty quickly. Then we did dead bugs. Those go by a lot slower. Then we were supposed to do hundreds, which go by quickly and then these, so that we're doing a quicker exercise and then a longer, tougher exercise, alternating back and forth, but I messed up the order. So at some point in the future, if you're working out along with the video, then I guess you're just doing it wrong with me because I messed up. But if you're gonna do this workout again on your own in the future, I recommend doing it the way I wrote it, okay? Which is hundreds as your third exercise and sit-ups as your fourth exercise. That's the way I wrote it, and that's the way it's gonna flow better and make more sense, but it's okay. We're gonna get all the reps done, it's okay. So now we have a few seconds of recovery before we have to tackle our next 100 sit-ups. So let's go ahead and sneak in another set of 100 with the jump rope when you are ready. See, that time I tripped on rep like 30 something, so I'm just gonna pick up my count at 30. It's fine. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I guess I lied. I tacked those 30 reps back on, so it's fine. There are no rules here. There are, but I make them so I can break them. And they are subject to change whenever I am so inclined. Who run this mother? All right, so the good news is that after we finish our sit-ups and then do another quick set of 100 with the jump rope, the final two exercises should hopefully go by much, much faster. So we are in the thick of it right now. We are going through it, but we're gonna get it done. We're halfway done. Think of it this way. We're completely done with the first two exercises. We're halfway done with the third exercise. So really, we're exactly at the halfway point of the workout, but really we're more than halfway because the last two exercises are not going to be like this, okay? So let's just focus on taking it one exercise at a time, one rep at a time. We're going to get these next 100 sit-ups done, all right? And then we'll deal with the rest. But right now, let's focus on getting these done. But just remember that if you dig really deep and push hard to get through this next 100 reps, the rest of the workout is gonna be all downhill, okay? So let's just focus on getting these sit-ups done. One weight, two weights, or no weight. When you're ready, here we go. at 25. It's 40. All right, that's 50. So we're gonna get these done. I have to do another 50, but I'm gonna pause and rest for a minute or two, just so that I can regain a little bit of strength. I tend to slowly travel in reverse while I do these, so took a brief pause at rep 40 to scooch my little booty down to the end of the mat because my head was almost on the concrete. But just taking a good minute or so to rest here and breathe. Shake out the wrists. Stretch the shoulders a little bit. Stretch the triceps a little bit. For some reason, I feel like this second 100 is less painful than the first 100, though. I don't know why. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my count at 50, so I'm gonna do the same thing I did in the first round. I'm going to try to make it to rep number 80 before I have to pause and take a rest. So I'm splitting up this second half into 30 reps and then 20 reps, but I'll try to keep my rest break really short once I hit 80 reps, okay? So the goal is gonna be to get all the way to 80 without stopping. Just do your best. If you need to rest longer, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I am picking up my count at 50, so here we go. 60 for me. That's 70. I'm going to do 10 more. Seven, 78, 79, and 80. So I have bad news for you guys. I'm sitting here doing math and plotting and scheming. I'll explain more when we get there, but just now, I just decided to add on a quick part 2 to this workout, all right? We're gonna do another 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope after we're finished with all this. Because my intent was to do 2,000 reps with jump rope because we're doing 200 reps of all the weighted exercise. I like my symmetry, so I wanted to do 200 reps of all the weighted exercises and then 2,000 revolutions with the jump rope. But I did the math wrong, and the way it's written, we're only doing 1,000 revolutions of the rope all day, so I'm gonna tack on another 1,000 revolutions of the jump rope so that I can, the workout can be the way I originally envisioned it. All right, so just a heads up. If you feel like sticking around to torture yourself some more with me, we're gonna tack on about another 10 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio after we're finished with this. But right now I'm picking up my count at 80. We have to do another 20 reps of sit-ups and then these are done, okay? So let's push. When you're ready, here we go. It's 85. That's 90 already. You just have 10 more to go. 5 more reps, come on. 96. 97. 98. 99, we made it, last one. That is 100. Okay, no more sit-ups. Those are done for the day. Not that we're done torturing our abs, because we still have to do hundreds, but yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2. But first, let's just take it one step at a time. All right, we still have 2 weighted exercises to get through. And before we can start on those, we have to do another set of 100 with the jump rope. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Shake it out, take a couple breaths. As soon as you're ready, another set of 100 with the jump rope. Starting over. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. All right. So I'm an hour and 7 minutes in. I just have 2 more exercises to go. They're gonna go relatively quickly compared to the dead bugs and the sit-ups, but then I am gonna add on another 10 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio. So I'm gonna make it my goal to finish the whole thing, including part 2, in under 90 minutes. So let's push. Next is hundreds. So again, you can do this with or without weight. And remember, if it's too difficult to lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, you can do it with your back flat on the mat, okay? As soon as you're ready, starting with your weights down by your sides, lifting the legs, straightening the legs. They're gonna stay here the entire time. Now, lift your shoulder blades up off the mat, lift the weights up, and then we're gonna pulse. 1, 2, 3. There's a gnat crawling on me, all right. That's the exercise. I'm not counting those 3 reps. But just remember that you're not doing this, there's resistance, okay? Remember that you're imagining that these are the ends of 2 magnets repelling each other. So you imagine you can't actually touch your dumbbell to your mat, okay? So feel that squeeze, feel that resistance. Oh, these gnats are so annoying. All right, so I'm starting over. Raise the legs, lift your legs straight up in the air. Lift your shoulder blades up. Oh my God, leave me alone. So annoying. Shoulder blades up off the mat and pulse. 2, 3, 4. Go away. It's 10. that's 30 for me. I think for these I'll try to do 30, 20, 30, 20. And this mat is just not gonna leave me alone. Get out, get out. All right. Got my count at 30. I'm gonna try to do another 20 without stopping, and then I'm halfway done already. So that's my first 50. So I'm going to try to do the second half the same way, 30 and 20. Okay, try to keep my rest breaks pretty short. Remember to tilt your pelvis forward. Remember you're actively pressing your low back into the mat the entire time. Really, really engaging your ab muscles, working that deep core. When you're ready, here we go. Whew. It's 80. One more rest break. Trying to keep it to about 30 seconds, but I'm not timing it, so it might be a little longer than 30 seconds. All right, when you feel that you're ready to continue with good form, we just have 20 more of these to go. Picking up my count at 80. 90. 100. Do you see how the way I wrote the workout makes much more sense? It flows a lot better. So, you know, next time I do it, I'll do it with the exercises in the correct order. But at least now, the hardest stuff is behind us for sure. And the rest of the workout will go by relatively quickly. All right, when you're ready, 100 revolutions of the jump rope. Okay, hundreds. Another set of 100 hundreds. 100 hundreds. Hundreds times 100. All right, 1,000s. Wait, what's 100 times 100? 10,000? 100,000? It's been a minute since I have had to remind you guys to not make me do math in the middle of a workout. It would be 10,000, right? 100 times 100 would be 1,000,000. Oh, 10,000. All right, anyway. So 10,000, here we go. 100 hundreds when you're ready. Remember to make sure that you're not locking out your elbow. Your arm is not perfectly straight. There needs to be a slight bend in your elbow while you're doing this exercise. That's 50 already. So I'm gonna repeat that 30 and 20. Just taking a short rest break in between. Trying to keep the rest breaks under 30 seconds. All right, picking up my count at 50. When you're ready, here we go. I'm gonna try to get to 80 before I have to pause and rest again. That's 80, just 20 more. If it's getting too difficult with the weights, drop them. You can finish up without any added weight. You guys know I'm stubborn AF, so I'm going to finish these final 20 reps with weight. So picking up my count at 80. As soon as you're ready, here we go. Just 20 more reps to go. We got this. That's 90. Keep pushing. 95. We made it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. 10,000, whatever, those are done. Get up, set the weights aside. To our fifth and final exercise. Okay, next is our final weighted exercise. We're doing those lat pulses. I'm going to be doing it from a kneeling position because I feel like it helps me to engage my core more effectively. want to kneel with me, you can double up your mat a couple times if it's too much stress on your knees, or you can grab a throw pillow or a seat cushion or something like that to put underneath your knees, or even just a towel, folded up towel. But if not, remember you can absolutely do this from a stand, okay, from a standing position. So you can hold on to one weight behind you, or you can do what I'm doing. I'm holding on to both of my 5-pound weights. I'm going to come up in a kneeling position. Make sure that you are tucking your tailbone under and engaging your entire core. You're going to bring your hands behind you. And so right now, my palms are facing that wall over there. The backs of my hands are facing my booty. And from here, I'm just going to lift my palms towards the ceiling and back down. We're just pulsing, okay? So from standing or from kneeling, do your best. When you're ready, here we go. So bring the weights behind you and then bring your palms to the ceiling and just pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to end up taking me closer to 1 hour and 40 minutes. I'm definitely not going to make my goal of 1 hour and a half, but I'm going to try to keep it as close to 90 minutes as I can. That was my first 30 reps. So I'm going to do another 20. That'll get me to 50, and then I'll take another rest break. That's 50. So I'm going to do my best to break these up the same way I did with the hundreds. So I'll rest for a few seconds here. And then when I pick the weights back up, I'll try to do 30 unbroken. That'll get me to 80. I'll take another rest break, finish up with my final 20 reps. Remember, if 2 weights is getting too difficult, you can drop one. That's 80, just 20 more. So you can drop to a lighter weight. You can drop one weight altogether. And if you want to do something with no added weight, you can do chest lifts, okay? I mean, you can sit here and go like this with no added weight. It's not gonna hurt anything, but I don't think it's gonna be very effective if you're not holding on to weight. So a resistance band, remember, would work great if you have one of those. If not, just do chest lifts. It's all good. All right, just 20 more when you're ready. $90. set of 100 with the jump rope. So we have a couple of minutes of recovery time. When you're ready, starting over. 10, 20. Ay, ay, ay. Third time's a charm. 10, 20. Yay. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, final 100 reps of lat pulses. And this is our final 100 reps with the weights all day. After this, just jump rope. Okay, my goal is, again, 30 and 20, rest, 30 and 20. Do your best. When you're ready, here we go. That was my first 30. So now I'm gonna go for another 20 unbroken if I can. It's 40. And 50. Getting through that last 20 was pretty tough. I didn't take a super long rest break, so I'm taking a more significant rest break here at the halfway point. So hopefully I can get through my next 30 unbroken, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to continue in that way. See my timer now, but I wasn't looking at it, so I don't know how long of a rest break that was. It feels like it was at least a minute though, so let's move on picking up my count at 50, so hopefully with that nice long rest break, I might be able to do my next 30 unbroken. If not, it's fine. I'm gonna get them done one way or another. So, tilt the pelvis forward, tighten up your abs. Your abs should be so tight and engaged throughout this entire exercise. And when you're ready, here we go, picking up my count at 50. More. Oh. That wasn't exactly technically 30 unbroken, but I'll take it. It was close enough for me. So taking a rest break here, I'm already past the 90-minute mark, so clearly this is going to take me longer than an hour and 40 minutes, but we're almost done. All I have left to do is 20 reps of these lat pulses, and then I'll finish up with my final set of 100 with the jump rope, and then that's part one. You can stop there if you want. If you want to continue on with me, I'm going to tack on another 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope. That's going to be part two. A little bit of additional cardio in there so that I can get to that 2,000 reps of jump rope that I wanted to do. All right, final 20 reps. When you're ready. It's 90, 10 more. That is 100, right? Shoot. Let's do 10 more just to make sure. Why do I feel like I messed up my count? All right, let's just do another 10, just to make absolutely sure. All right, it's gotta be at least 100. Please God, let that be at least 100. All right, so those light little 5-pound dumbbells gave me quite a workout today. They start to feel like they weigh 50 pounds a piece after so many reps. All right, let's finish out this part one with one final set of 100 with the jump rope. When you're ready. Aye. Minutes and 17 seconds, 1 hour and 34 minutes and 17 seconds is what that part one took me. So we completed a total of 200 reps of each of our weighted exercises. But when I wrote the workout, I was thinking it was gonna be 200 and 2,000. So 200 reps of each weighted exercise and 2,000 revolutions of the jump rope, but I wasn't thinking, I did the math wrong. It's only 1,000 reps. So I'm going to tack on an extra 1,000 revolutions of the jump rope. So I'm going to do 10 more sets of 100 for time. You can join me if you would like, but an hour and 34 minutes is plenty. So if you want to call it a day, that's fine. I will do a bonus burpee in solidarity with those of you who are not continuing on with me. If you are going to continue on with me and do part 2, you can do a bonus burpee in solidarity as well if you would like, but you don't have to. So if you are not doing part 2, then let's do a bonus burpee together, and then your workout will be officially complete. So when you're ready, here we go. This will be your final rep of the day. All right, so now make sure you're taking a few minutes to cool down. If you want to use the chapter markers to skip ahead in the video, we can do a little cool down together. And then stick around for this week's mobility challenge that's coming up immediately following the workout. If you are continuing on with me, now is a good time to pause the video if you need to towel off and get yourself a drink, and just give yourself a couple minutes to allow your breathing to normalize, to allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. And when you're ready, come back and join me for part 2. I really should run inside and get a pen and paper, because I know I'm going to lose track of my count, but I don't want to take the time to do it. So wish me luck. We're doing 10 sets of 100 with the jump rope, just like we've been doing. So any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope, and we're going to do that 10 times. So I'll just try to my best to keep track in my head. And we're a little over an hour and 37 minutes now. So this is gonna take us plus or minus about 10 minutes or so. If I was fresh, I'd say I wanna finish in under 10 minutes, but I'm really fatigued after, you know, a 90-minute plus workout. Those were some really tough reps. So I'm imagining this is going to take me a little bit more than 10 minutes. So let's say I'm gonna make it my goal to finish in under an hour 50, all right? That's not a super lofty goal, so I think I might be able to do that. It depends on how much I'm tripping over my jump rope and how quickly I can move from one set to the next. So in other words, how short I can keep my rest breaks in between sets. So do your best to keep the rest breaks in between sets as short as you can, but you know, go at your own pace. We're gonna get it done, so it's all good. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. We are starting now, so 100 revolutions with the jump rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. So that's my first set. I'm gonna need a few seconds to breathe in between sets because I'm fatigued from part 1. Just gonna do my best to keep the rest breaks as short as I can. So when you're ready, next set of 100. ay, ay. That's 2. I'm fatigued. It's hot out here. So I anticipate that these are not going to be super clean. I'm going to be tripping a lot. It's okay. I'm going to get the reps done. Just do your best. Make them as clean as you can. But if they're not clean, it's fine. You're doing the work. That was 2. When you're ready, set number 3. That was 3. That was 5, right? I'm pretty sure that was 5. So 5 down, 5 to go. It's gonna be really close to an hour 50. I might just make it. All right, 5 more sets of 100 when you're ready. Taking a few more seconds to breathe. I'm gonna stop pushing myself to finish in an hour 50 and instead focus on being smart and going at a good pace for me. So hopefully after a few more seconds of rest, I can attack this next 5 sets of 100 with fewer trips. We shall see. That was set number 6. It's really frustrating. Every time I trip, you just have to do your best to move forward. Don't let the frustration dictate your mindset. Just gonna sabotage the rest of your workout. And we still have another 400 reps to go, so leave the tripping behind. And when you're ready, let's start set number 7. That was 7. Just 3 more to go. It's gonna take me even longer than an hour and 50 minutes, but I'm so close. I just have to do 3 more sets. I can do this. All right, set number 8, when you're ready. You, I know you, I know you. I finished a set of 100 without tripping over Rebecca. Hashtag woot. That was set number 8. 8 down, just 2 to go. Ay, ay, ay. right, we made it. Just one more set to go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, picking up my count at 70, 80, 90, 100, and that is our 10th set of 100. And that's part 2. So I did not time parts 1 and 2 separately. I kept my timer going while I was resting in between parts 1 and 2. So the whole workout all day, without ever pausing my timer, took me 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 32 seconds. So obviously that part 2 took me a long time. I was tripping a lot. It was pretty frustrating, but honestly, I got it done. And now that it's over, I feel so good. It's like hitting yourself in the head with a baseball bat, right? Feels so good when you stop. All right, we are not quite finished yet. You guys know that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Even if you already did a bonus burpee in solidarity with the people who were not continuing on and doing part 2 of the workout, you still need to do another bonus burpee, because the bonus burpee always has to be the last thing that you do. That's what completes the workout. So if you continued on and did part 2 with me, then your workout is not finished yet. Your workout continued after that initial bonus burpee. So you're going to have to do just 1 more bonus burpee. But first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, as most of my workouts do these days, I like to do, in addition to my bonus burpee, 1 bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So completely optional, but if you would like to join me, this is just 1 more set of 100, just like we've been doing for the last 2 hours. All right, so any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're counting 100 revolutions of the rope. Hopefully I can get through it without tripping. If you do not want to do this little bonus, that's fine. You can rest for another minute or so before we do our bonus burpee. If you do want to join me, whenever you're ready, here we go. So counting to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. 30. 40. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. My feet didn't want to stop. I've got bologna in my shoes. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Isn't that an old Steve Martin bit? Happy feet. Is it something about having bologna in your shoes? Am I just delirious? Somebody help me out here. All right, that is our bonus set of 100 with the jump rope. So now we have just 1 rep left to go. let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, our final bonus burpee, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you are ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's do a quick cool down together. Remember, it's really important that you get up and move around after the workout. You want to keep moving, keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to come down and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can just kind of pace around a little bit with me, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch because we worked our shoulders a lot today with those little 5-pound dumbbells, didn't we? So just bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed and make sure your shoulder is completely relaxed. Otherwise, you're really not going to be able to get the benefit of the stretch. You won't be able to stretch it effectively if it's tensed up and hunched up by your ear. Shake it out. Other shoulder, so bring the opposite arm across your body. Use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Check in with this arm, shake it out. Make sure it's super relaxed. The other arm is doing all the work. Make sure your shoulder's relaxed. If your muscle is tense, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So your shoulder should not be tense. It shouldn't be up here by your ear. Relax the arm, relax the shoulders. Definitely also need to do a tricep stretch after that workout. We did a lot of triceps today too. Those little 5-pound dumbbells were working hard for us. So just bend one elbow and then place your opposite hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, really feeling that stretch in your tricep. Make sure that your free hand is completely relaxed. The fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. So if you find that your hand is hanging out up here but somewhere by your shoulder, you want the fingers pointing straight down. I'm really gonna isolate those triceps and we really need to stretch those triceps today. We worked them super hard. Triceps are something that I do not work enough for sure. My triceps could be a lot stronger, so gonna be feeling it tomorrow, I'm sure. But taking the time to stretch them now will help to alleviate some of that muscle soreness tomorrow. So again, just bending the other arm, placing the opposite hand on the shoulder, gently pulling your shoulder, or pulling your elbow rather towards the opposite shoulder. Free hand behind you is completely relaxed. Fingers are pointing straight down at the ground. Feeling that stretch in your tricep. Shake it out. I'm gonna do a quick quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold on to the wall or a chair for this. You're just gonna bend one knee, bring the foot up behind you, reach back with both hands, grab a hold of the top of your foot, and now press your heel into your booty cheek. Feel that stretch in your quads. Controlled deep breaths. Let's get the quad muscles on the other side. So bending your other knee, bringing the foot up behind you. Reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek. Now, as you're doing that, you also want to make sure that you are again tilting your pelvis forward, just like we were doing during the workout, to get rid of that curve in the low back. It's the same thing. You're tilting your pelvis forward, so you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. and sucking your belly button back to your spine. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. And as you're doing that, make sure you're continuing to press this heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those, you're going to feel that stretch instantly intensify as you really isolate those quad muscles. It makes the stretch a lot more effective. All right, so one last time, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. If you feel like you're still breathing heavily and your heart rate is still elevated, just take a few more minutes to pace around a little bit. Just keep moving. You can do a little more light stretching. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down is not meant to be a replacement for a proper stretching routine. You still need to take time to stretch, to do an actual stretching routine, okay? It's really important that you're not skipping your stretching. If you have time to do it right now, immediately after the workout is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm. If you do not have time to stretch right now, that's fine. You can put it off until later in the day. Just remember that if you stretch later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you're going to have to take a few minutes to warm them back up before jumping into your stretching routine. The same way we take 5 minutes to warm up our muscles before beginning the workout. You want to do the same thing before you stretch. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles. Warm muscles are going to be more pliable. So just taking a couple minutes to warm your muscles up before you begin stretching is going to reduce the likelihood that you will overstretch or strain something or pull a muscle. So if you have the time to do your stretching right now, you can skip the warm up because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But it doesn't matter when you do your stretching, just as long as you get it done. It's really important that you're stretching every single day. Taking the time to stretch every day is going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing the day after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, because as you improve your flexibility, you're training your muscles to be generally more pliable. It's going to increase your range of motion, and it's less likely that, again, you will pull a muscle or strain something during a future workout. And improving your flexibility and your mobility is an important aspect of your overall fitness in its own right. So make sure that you're taking the time to stretch every day. And speaking of mobility, it is Mobility Monday. So before I do my stretching routine, I am going to do this week's Monday Mobility Challenge. I found another mobility challenge. I think I found this one on YouTube. So we'll watch it together. And then if you want to try it with me, definitely stick around for that. All right, so this one's pretty interesting. I'll be honest, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do this or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot and we'll see what happens. So let's watch it together so that you can see what I'm looking at, you understand what it is that we are about to subject ourselves to. All right, so all right, so you saw how her body was in that weird position. It didn't look possible, but then this woman says, okay, I'll give it a try, and she looks like she's pretty much getting it. So this is what we're going to attempt to do. Let's watch it again. So that's the original, and now here. So she's lifting one leg to the side, lifting her arm to the side, and then lifting the other arm straight up overhead. So the goal is to get your body, now hers is not quite as like freakishly perfect as the original. The original, it's like her body is making a perfect T. Right here, if you look at hers, and I'm not knocking her, but her arm and her standing leg are not exactly lined up, whereas if you look at the original, look, you see how the arm that's extended up into the air is like perfectly lined up with her standing leg. That is like freaky. But what this woman is doing, that is close enough for me. If we can get that right there, I will be thrilled with that, okay? So the first one is just like a photo. I don't know if in the original reel she demonstrated how she got into that pose, but this woman that's doing it in this reel, or this short, this YouTube short, she kind of walked us through her process. So she lifted one leg first, and then she lifted her arm out to the side, and then she lifted her other arm, and then she tried to kind of get into position. So that's the way I'm going to approach it. So if you want to try this one with me, we don't need a mat or anything. So I guess just take a deep breath and let's give this a shot and see what happens. All right, so I actually am using my mat only because I decided that I wanted to do this barefoot. I think in my mind, I thought my balance would somehow be better if I was barefoot. So let's see what happens. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do this. I think what is more likely is that I might fall and chip a tooth or like pull a muscle or something. So wish me luck. If you want to attempt this craziness with me, we're going to start by standing in the middle of our mat, if you're using a mat. So now we're going to pick up one leg and lift it out to the side. And now we're going to extend the opposite arm out to the side, take the other arm and extend it up overhead. So far, so good, kind of. All right, so leg, arm, other arm. And now I guess we have to kind of hinge at the hips. Is this it? Am I doing it? Am I close? I can't see myself. I have no idea if that was anywhere close to what we were trying to accomplish. Okay, here's the deal. I have no idea if I got it or not, so I'm going to have to pause the video so that I can look at what I just shot and see if I came anywhere close to completing that successfully. All right, you guys, I have checked the videotape and I think I got it. I think I got it. It wasn't beautiful. I was a little wobbly getting into it and I wasn't able to hold it for very long, but I think I got it. I'm counting that as a win. So I'm going to say that I did successfully complete this challenge by the skin of my teeth. Now remember, warped wall rules, okay? That's the way the Monday Mobility Challenge has always worked. You get 3 attempts. As long as you are successful within those 3 attempts, that is a win. So if you did not get it the first time, we're going to try it twice more. So just take a breath, all right? Find your focus, really find your balance. If you were wearing shoes, take off your shoes, because honestly, I do think that it helps to balance when you can feel the ground underneath you. And even though I have my foot on the mat and not the ground, still it enables me to use those muscles in my feet and grip the floor or grip the mat with my foot. And I really do think that it might help you balance. So if you had your shoes on and you did not get it, try it without your shoes, try it barefoot and see if that helps. All right, so pause the video for a second, take off your shoes, and then come back. Let's try it again. So this is attempt number 2. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and give this a shot. So really use the foot of your standing leg to grip the mat so that you can find your center. It's gonna help you balance. Now pick up the opposite foot and you're going to extend this leg out to the side, extend your opposite arm out to the side, and then take your other arm and extend it straight up overhead. Fight for that balance. And now we have to hinge at the hips. Are we good? Am I doing it? Did I do it? Did I do it? I think I did it. Okay, I had to pause the video again so I could look at it. But honestly, I think that counts, okay? I wanna keep working on it. I wanna make it prettier and I wanna be able to hold it longer and I wanna feel a little bit more solid, but I'm counting that. I really think that what I'm doing is close enough. I'm getting it. So if you haven't gotten it yet, don't worry, we get one more chance. So here we go. This is our 3rd and final attempt. We got this, all right? I'm recommending naked feet. I think it helps. So make sure you're really using the foot of your standing leg to grip the mat. Pick up the other foot. You're going to extend your leg out to the side and extend your opposite arm to the other side. The other arm you're going to extend straight up overhead. And now we're hinging at the hips. We're trying to make a perfect T shape with our body. Am I doing it? You guys, I can't see myself. I hope I'm doing it. Did I get it? Was it even close? I think I got it. You guys, this one is so ridiculous. So here's the thing. I think that first image like that had to be photoshopped. Like, I don't understand how her body was perfectly aligned straight up and down and straight across. Like, she did it with a ruler or like a, what do you call those things, like a T-square or something. It does not seem humanly possible. So mine didn't look like that. It didn't look like the picture that you saw in the beginning of the reel, but I think mine was probably on par with the woman that we watched do it. So I think I got it. I'm calling that a win. So another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books. If you were not successful, don't worry. This one was really odd, but you know, feel free to keep working on it. If you were close, if you were almost there, just keep at it and let me know if eventually you are successful with it. I am going to continue working on mine because I want to clean it up. I want it to feel a little bit more stable so that I can make a reel and I can make my own YouTube short. So I'm going to keep working on it, but I think I got it. I'm counting it. I'm saying it's a win. So let me know how you did with it. Let me know if you were able to successfully complete this Monday mobility challenge with me. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you so much for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, especially since I messed up, I did the exercises out of order, and then I on the fly added on a whole second part of the workout. So I apologize if that was confusing. If anything is unclear about the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, any doubt about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I am right here to help. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help with anything that is going to do it for today. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, you know, I always wanted to pretend to be an architect. I just thought of that right now because I mentioned a T-square. But anyway, that's it. That is going to be today's secret code phrase of the day. So if you are still watching, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, you know, I always wanted to pretend to be an architect. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.